Hello everybody, my name is Ibanizos, and welcome back to Gaming with Spirit. And we're going to go into our next tutorial here, and that's going to be dealing with acquiring weapons and modding them. Now, a lot of people who get into this, they might kind of understand how to get weapons. You go to the market, and in the market you go to categories, and there's weapons. Primary, secondary, melee, and arcwing, which you shouldn't worry about either of these two for right now, but your primary weapons, you can click on pretty much any of these, and some of them may have it, some of them might not. And if they don't have it, that means you can't acquire them through the market. But then there's other ones like the Attica. Nope, not the Attica. Where is one? The Boar? Nope, Boar is also acquiring something else. Ah, there's one. So the Boltor. I can purchase the Boltor's blueprint through here. Not all weapons that are primary, secondary, melee in the market have the option to purchase the blueprint, but some of them do. So it's important if you're trying to raise your mastery rank, which is your profiles rank, which allows you to have higher mod capacity and more daily standing to acquire and everything else, or if you just want to find a better weapon for yourself, buy the blueprints via the market that are available to you. There's quite a few. This is just the primary weapons, and you can see there's a good chunk of them. The Zug. You get the Zug here. And you also have your secondary weapons, your melee weapons. So you have a good selection of what they call mastery rank fodder to begin with. Now, most of these may not even be fodder. You might actually really like these to the point where you want to play with them all the time. And that's great. Because really you want to find a weapon that suits you best. Now, for the rest of the weapons that you can find in-game, you find them through one of two other sources. One of them you get from enemies drops, like the Gorgon is a weapon you can get from enemy drops. The Boar you can get from enemy drops. And that's a couple that I know off the top of my head. There's also some Warframes, as we mentioned in another video about how Warframes are acquired. There are some Warframes you can only acquire through minion drops. Which means, yes, it just got grindier. When you just start this game, you should know this very simple fact about Warframe. The grind is life. You will spend months, perhaps even years. Oh, someone wanted to be my friend? Oh, I'll accept Empress Rich. Anyways, so it will take months, maybe even years to get anywhere that you really can. Like my Gara. And my collection of 36 plus Warframes, I didn't acquire them overnight. I acquired them over years of building them up. It's not like something you just pick up and you do well at. But you can, if you learn how to mod, which comes the next part of this, and how to acquire your Warframes, how to acquire your weapons, it makes the game a lot easier. Now, the last place, or the third place, or second place, whatever you want to call it, you acquire weapon blueprints from, is a dojo. Now, dojos are the main base of a clan. Now, a clan can be accessed one of two ways. Now, first of all, to get into a clan, you can go here to the recruiting and say, hey, I'm looking for a clan. More likely than not, you'll get someone who'll say, oh, yeah, I can invite you to one. Or if your friends are already made a clan, like there it was, right there. The Allegiant. So, if your friends already have one, that's even better, because then you don't have to worry about it too much. But once you get a clan, you have to build the clan key, and it will take 12 hours, I believe, to build a clan key. But once you've done that, you can go visit your clan by going to the navigation and going to the dojo, which is down in the bottom corner. It will be your clan's name there. You can click on that. Alternatively, if you're more interested in how the menus work in the game and you don't really want to go through the navigation, you can just hit escape, communication, and clan. And then there you are, right there. Now, rank 9 is the highest rank as far as I know that clans can become. I think actually rank 10 might be the highest, but I don't think I've ever seen one get there for a while. As you can see, I have a few more members in my clan than I used to. I used to be just by myself.
Chaos is spreading.
Because you can make your own clan if you have the time. And I even created my own symbol, which costs 100 platinum to do, and uploading through the website to make it. But then again, it's taken a while. So you go to the clan dojo. It'll be a big wait process, but eventually you'll get in to your blank space. Now, mine is set up, of course, I've had plenty of time to do this, and the thing you're going to have to look for is going to be in my laboratory. So this is the Oracle. The Oracle is a founding room where research begins. So if you have your own solo dojo, your own solo clan, and you want to build research laboratories, you have to build the Oracle first. But once you have the Oracle built, you can build 5 different laboratories. The first laboratory you have, enjoy all the scenery, is the Energy Lab. The Energy Lab is where you pick up items from the corpus and, well, energy restores. So you tap on this terminal right here in the middle, and here's all the researches. Now, as you can see, I've completed pretty much all the research. In fact, I've completed all the research in this. So you have things like the lens, the glaxion, the static core, amprex, ferox, all these really cool items, including some infinite items. So something people should pay attention to is there are some blueprints that have a golden background and a little infinity symbol on them. Those can be constantly used. You don't need to buy like 6 of them. You just need to buy the one. And once you've bought the one, you can use it as many times as you want as long as you have the blueprint parts for it. So field drons are used for most all of the weapons in the Energy Lab. So if you're going to build like a Cero, if I want to replicate it, it will show me, once I go to replication, it will show me if I've mastered it, how much it's going to cost me, how many blueprints of it I want to buy, all the stats, and if I scroll down, it will show me my crafting requirements. And as you can see, it requires those field drone. When you're playing the game, you might run across field drone samples in some maps. Those aren't field drone, they're field drone samples. And if you want to purchase this, you'll hit replicate, you'll hit OK, and then you'll buy the blueprint. It will show up in your foundry. But if you want to do field drones, you have to buy one every time you want to build it. So you have to buy multiple of these. But you use your field drone samples to create them, plus control modules, salvage, and plastids. So when you're starting the game, and even sometimes middle and even late game, when you've spent days and months and years on this game, you'll still run out of resources. Most people do what are called invasion missions that have field drones, mutagen masses, and detonite injectors as rewards. They take some time to do, but if you get them done, they're really, really beneficial. So, whenever you buy an item from the Energy Lab, you'll want to pick up some field drone to go with it, because you're going to need it. Next, you have the Biolab. Now, the Biolab is infested technology. So, once again, you'll have another blueprint that you'll have to keep purchasing more of that are used to produce, for these weapons. And then there's only one thing in here that I haven't finished, and it's this, because it requires another 3,000 mutagen samples, of which I only have 100 and some. I'll contribute them. Such a small amount. Mutagen samples are hard to pick up, and because they're hard to pick up, well, they're not, I wouldn't call them hard. They just take a long time. And since they take a long time to get, the HEMA research is very extensive. Mutagen masses, however, don't really cost that much. They cost 10 mutagen samples, just like the field drones require 10 field drone samples. Control model, salvage, and plastids. So really they're identical to field drones, except for instead of field drone sample, you need mutagen sample. And you'll need that for all the research in here. Cool fact, Degen is a sentinel you can pick up from here, and he is a useful sentinel to have. He has a couple cool things that go with him. And there are also some powerful weapons that lots of people like to play with, like the Phage, or the Dual Toxist, or, the Pox, which is one of my favorite ones just because of Clouds of Death are fun. So this is a good place or the Synapse, which is a poor man's version of the Amprex. So this is a good place to pick up weapons for infested technology, but they take a little bit to get, and most dojos actually really love the fact that they have the HEMA, and so if you join a clan, they'll often will say, all research completed including HEMA. They'll specify the HEMA as a separate entity. So now we're into the Grenier Lab, which is the chemical lab. And the chemical lab has the detonite injector, which is your staple. And as you can see, once again, it needs the same stuff, just detonite ampules instead of samples. Now, I have a lot of them. I've done a lot of Grenier missions. but they are needed for practically everything in here besides this research. So one thing to pull out from this is that while these things, the restores do not require, usually don't require any mutagen masses or anything else, so you can pick them up from what you want and you can use them for whatever you want. All the weapons will require a special resource picked up from the research lab that you'll need to have. So keep that in mind. So now, there's two other research labs. One of them is more or less useless right now, and we'll start with that one first. And that is the Orokin lab. Now, the Orokin lab has two things that it does. The first one is it deals with the Dark Sector PvP. The second thing it does is deal with alliances. So in the researching solar rails, this is the one thing that makes them useful, and that's the Dragon Key research. So it's the side, so any one of these panels, no, it's the first panel onto this side of the room, so the left hand side, and then you have your 4 Dragon Keys. Now when you're starting the game, Dragon Keys, probably not an interesting thing that you need to really pay attention to, but later, as you progress, you'll be able to go to the Derelict. And in the Derelict, you have the ability, which you'll buy Derelict Keys from the market. Derelict will sometimes have these things called vaults, Orokin vaults, and they'll require one of these 4 keys to access that vault. And inside will be a special mod. Some people pay a lot of platinum for them, some people don't. And it's one of the best ways of making platinum. It's also one of the best ways of min-maxing your builds to make your Warframe super strong. So if you're looking for power, build these keys. As you can see, they're infinite blueprints, so build these keys and try to find vault runs through the recruitment channel. You only can carry 1 key at a time, and each door has a chance to be one of those 4 types. So it's almost impossible to run vaults by yourself. The last lab is the Tenno lab. And the Tenno lab, once again, you have Tenno weaponry. A lot of really cool weapons, as well as some special, as you can see, Warframes. Now these Warframes, Banshee, Neza, Volt, and Wukong, as well as the parts to your Archwing once you get there. And Archwing requires you to finish an actual mission for them, which you'll acquire by doing the star chart. So don't worry about Archwing, but you can get a couple Warframes and some weapons here. There's only one other research that's even useful here, and that's the Dargon Pilot. Well, that's for what mine is. But, where is it? Okay. Wisp Gray, right. Wisp Gray. So, wow. Yeah, that's all I can do. Okay, so this is for colors, and it's for dojos that are trying to become more pretty. Like I have brown on my walls and whatnot, but really that's not important. To remember is that each one of the labs, the 5 labs, of 5 of them, chemical, bio, energy, and Tenno, are good for picking up blueprints for weaponry. The last one, Orokin Lab, is only for getting mods, and that's for a later issue. Don't worry about that now. So, you have your weapons. You have your weapon blueprints. And you're like, okay, I want to build more weapons. But just like I mentioned in a previous video about Warframes, you have to eventually use platinum to expand your weapon slots. And as you can see, like the Argonaut is one of the Chem Lab weapons. It requires detonite injectors. But once I build it, it takes 24 hours. Just like a Warframe, I'll acquire it. It'll go into my arsenal, and I can pick it up. So the Sybaris, what do you want to call it, is a weapon I'm starting to level up now. A lot of people will start with a weapon at rank 0 and will have to rank it up, or rank 1, rank 0. So what I'm going to show you is not the equip function where you can change your weapons, which is really handy, or the appearance one where you can create some unique designs or colors with your weapon.
Strange.
I'm showing you
upgrade.
And the upgrade is for every single thing here, except for the gear, which don't worry about that right now. Everything has an upgrade tab. And in that upgrade tab, you are presented with this. 4 slots. Well, 4 slots, 8 slots, technically. It's 4 on top, 4 on bottom. And then you'll have these mods. Now, most people when they start out will have these, kind of these coppery, bronze-looking ones. Those are common mods. Silver are uncommon and gold are rare. But just because they're rare doesn't mean that they're the best in the game. Like a lot of people will, like for this weapon, I see that I have a 25% critical chance and a 10% chance to status. Now we'll explain these statistics later. For the most part, people should just worry about damage mods. When they're first playing the game, they just want the mods that have plus to damage. Plus to damage, that's all they really need to have. As you're moving through the star chart, which, by the way, the star chart is navigation. So this is this big expanse that you have here. This is the star chart.
Operator, are
You'll
you
start on
enjoying
Earth,
the view?
move to Venus and Mercury, go to Mars and Phobos and all these other places. But as you move through the star chart, modding your weapons will become extremely important. So what we're going to do here, we're going to take a break because I'm pretty sure I've been doing this for long enough. I'm seeing about 15 minutes of run time. It's about over twice what I did for Warframes. So we'll put a pause on this. Just remember the basics here in summary. You get your weapons from you get weapons from the marketplace. Not all weapons in the marketplace, but just some of them. You get your weapons from world enemies, bosses and stuff like the Warframes do, or you get your weapons from the dojo, being part of a clan, being part of a community. So those three places are where you get your weapons and, some mods. But most important to remember is that when you acquire a new weapon, just like with Warframes, you have to have the slots available for it. So if you don't like the weapons you had previously, sell them. Remember, you go to, let me do this here. You'll go to escape, equipment, and inventory. When you're here, you can select weapons. Weapons is its own category, and you can look through all your weapons, find the ones you don't like, just click on them, and you can click on multiple ones. Look at that. Just hit all that you want and hit sell. And once you hit sell, it will get rid of them. So never do that unless you're really looking to replace what you have. But in the beginning, you will need to until you can start making platinum, which is a whole nother video. So everybody, thank you very much for watching this video. I know it's been kind of a longer one for my first one, but I hope I got all the information about the basics of acquiring weapons and really some of the small things people don't know when they first start the game. So until next time, everybody, I hope you've enjoyed watching this, and I will see you in the next video.